The hip-hop world is no stranger to drama, but what's happening right now might be one of the most complicated rap conflicts we've seen in years. It started with a simple idea, a versus battle between two legendary artists. But now it has exploded into diss tracks, family involvement, and even rumors of explosive documentaries that could shake the industry. And somehow, one of the biggest names in music, Jay-Z, has been pulled directly into the middle of it. The story begins with T.I., also known as Tip, one of the most respected figures in Atlanta hip-hop. During an appearance on the popular podcast $1 Million Worth of Game, hosted by Gilly the Kid and Wallow, T.I. made a statement that instantly caught people's attention. He claimed that he and 50 Cent had privately discussed doing a versus battle. According to T.I., the conversation had already happened behind the scenes. The two artists had talked about celebrating their catalogs and showing fans who truly had the stronger collection of hits. Ty explained that the plan was simple. He would reveal the news publicly, and the internet would explode with excitement. But when he announced the idea in interviews and podcasts, something strange happened. 50 Cent suddenly acted like the conversation never existed. For T, that moment felt like a public embarrassment. Instead of confirming the battle, 50 Cent joked about it online and dismissed the idea completely. This wasn't the first time the topic had come up. In fact, the idea of a versus battle between these two artists had been floating around for years. Back in 2020, T.I. challenged 50 Cent on Instagram to a 20-song battle. At the time, versus battles were one of the biggest events in music. Artists like Babyface, Teddy Riley, and many others had already drawn massive audiences. But when T challenged 50 Cent, the response wasn't what he expected. 50 Cent responded with humor. He joked that someone must have given Ty the same weed Smokey smoked in the movie Friday. The comment quickly went viral, and fans realized that 50 Cent wasn't taking the challenge seriously at all. Despite that, T.I. never let the idea go. For years, he continued bringing it up in interviews, saying that a battle between them would be legendary. According to T.I., the fans deserved to see two iconic catalogs go head-to-head. Meanwhile, 50 Cent mostly ignored the challenge or brushed it off with jokes. Eventually, the conversation faded into the background. But in 2026, the topic suddenly came back to life. This time, T was preparing to release what he described as his final album, Kill the King. During the promotional campaign for the project, he began appearing on podcasts and interviews again. And once again, he brought up the versus battle. In early February 2026, T.I. appeared on the Nightcap podcast hosted by Shannon Sharpe and Chad Ochocinco. During that interview, he made a bold claim. He said that 50 Cent was ducking him. T explained that the two had already talked about the battle privately. But when the news became public, 50 Cent suddenly changed his stance. He repeated this claim on multiple platforms, insisting that he had proof the conversation had happened. At one point during the interview, T.I. even questioned 50 Cent's character. He said that if 50 didn't want to do the battle, he should have simply said so instead of pretending the conversation never happened. That comment changed the tone of the entire situation. In hip-hop culture, questioning someone's character publicly is a serious move. Once that happens, things often escalate quickly, and that's exactly what happened here. 50 Cent responded the way he usually does, through social media trolling. Soon after the interview went viral, 50 Cent posted an unflattering image of T.I.'s wife, Tiny Harris, on Instagram. The caption warned T.I. to keep his name out of his mouth. That moment shifted the entire conflict. What started as a debate about music had now become personal. T responded quickly. He posted messages online defending his family and accusing 50 Cent of trying to distract from the original conversation. But he didn't stop there. Shortly afterward, T.I. released a diss track titled War. The song directly targeted 50 Cent and accused him of avoiding the versus battle while hiding behind jokes and social media posts. Fans immediately began choosing sides. Some people believed T.I. was right and that a versus battle between the two would be historic. Others argued that 50 Cent had no obligation to accept the challenge. But before the situation could calm down, something happened that escalated the conflict even further. The Harris family became involved. T's son, King Harris, decided to respond publicly. During the chaos of the feud, he posted a photo wearing a t-shirt featuring the image of 50 Cent's late mother, Sabrina Jackson. For many fans, that moment crossed a serious line. 50 Cent's mother died in a tragic fire when he was just 8 years old. The loss shaped much of his childhood and has always been a sensitive topic. When the photo started spreading online, the reaction was immediate. Many people felt the situation had gone too far. Even T later admitted that this was the moment things escalated beyond what he expected. But by that time, the feud had already taken on a life of its own. Over the following weeks, the conflict intensified. By March 2026, T.I. had released multiple diss tracks aimed at 50 Cent, including War, The Right One, Lessons, and What Bully. His sons King Harris and Domani Harris also released their own musical responses, turning the conflict into a full family confrontation. At that point, the original Versus idea was completely forgotten. Now the feud was about pride, reputation, and respect. And that's when 50 Cent revealed a new strategy that changed the entire conversation. Instead of responding with another diss track, he hinted at something much bigger, a documentary. For many people, this threat sounded shocking at first, but those who had been following 50 Cent's career closely understood why it mattered. In late 2025, a documentary series titled Sean Combs, The Reckoning, was released on Netflix. The series examined the long list of allegations and controversies surrounding Sean Diddy Combs. The project quickly became one of the most talked about documentaries of the year, and the executive producer behind it was 50 Cent. Because of that success, fans realized that 50 Cent had discovered a new way to fight his battles. Instead of just releasing diss tracks, he could produce full documentaries that explored controversies in detail. So when the feud with T.I. escalated, people started paying attention to his social media posts. On the 5th of March, 50 Cent briefly posted, and then deleted, an Instagram screenshot referencing a potential project titled Surviving T.I and Tiny. The post hinted that the documentary might explore past allegations made against the couple. Over the years, several women had accused T.I and Tiny of serious misconduct, including drugging and sexual assault. The couple has strongly denied these accusations, and a civil lawsuit filed in 2024 was eventually dismissed. However, the idea that a documentary might revisit those claims instantly created huge interest online. T responded to the rumors by dismissing them publicly. He wrote on Instagram that he was ready to go bar for bar, hit for hit, or doc for doc. But while that feud continued, another name suddenly entered the conversation, Jay-Z's. At first, it seemed like normal social media trolling. 50 Cent joked about Jay-Z not appearing in the Diddy documentary and teased that he might explore other stories in the future. But then something unexpected happened. In early 2026, the U.S. Department of Justice released millions of pages of documents related to the investigation of Jeffrey Epstein. Within those files, Jay-Z's name appeared in an unverified hotline tip submitted by a member of the public in 2019. The tip claimed that in 1996, Jay-Z may have witnessed film producer Harvey Weinstein assaulting a woman at what was believed to be Epstein's Florida mansion. However, officials immediately clarified that the report was not verified evidence. Jay-Z's name does not appear in Epstein's confirmed flight logs or official contact lists. Still, once the internet noticed the name, speculation spread quickly, and 50 Cent responded almost immediately. He posted an AI-generated image of Jay-Z on Instagram and joked about making another documentary about the situation. The post instantly went viral. Suddenly, the feud between T.I and 50 Cent had expanded into something much larger. Jay-Z was now part of the conversation. What made the situation even more interesting was Jay-Z's reaction, or rather, the lack of one. Despite the growing speculation, Jay-Z has not responded publicly at all. No interviews, no social media posts, no statements. For those familiar with his career, the silence isn't surprising. Jay-Z rarely engages in public internet arguments. Instead, he usually handles controversies privately through legal teams or business channels. But his silence hasn't stopped the speculation. Right now, fans are watching closely to see what happens next. Because this conflict has created a complicated web of rivalries. 50 Cent is battling T. He's teasing documentaries about T.I and Tiny. And at the same time, he's trolling Jay-Z about the Epstein documents, all while riding the success of his previous documentary projects. The big question now is simple. Will any of these documentary threats actually become real productions? Or are they simply part of 50 Cent's strategy to keep himself at the center of the conversation? Either way, one thing is becoming clear. The rules of hip-hop beef are changing. In the past, the ultimate weapon was a diss track. But now, a documentary might be even more powerful. And right now, 50 Cent appears to be the one holding that weapon. The only question left is whether he decides to use it.